if you stay with the first draft of your dream that you think is your dream, then the chances of you being disappointed are 100%. If you allow for revisions to what you thought God had called you to do or be, or what you thought it would look or feel like, then it leaves you open to another iteration if maybe the first time you saw it, you didn't see it fully. And a lot of things that have moved me in my life were just meant to move me to another place. But actually, when I got there, I found out that God had something very different in mind. And to teach you, like, hey, hold on to your dream and don't let anything take it away or change it, would be to teach you not to be sensitive to God's Spirit. Right. Because how are you supposed to know at this age, how old are you right now?
22.
Yeah. How are you to know at 22 where God will have you when you're 39? Or how will I know when I'm 39 where God will have me when I'm 62? And so we have to be tenacious about keeping our faith, but open-handed about what manifestation that takes in each season. And sometimes I think we marry too quickly our first ideal or our first passion. And so we fall in love with an immature idea of our calling or our life. And then God is bringing stuff to us that's really beautiful, but we reject it because it doesn't look like our blueprint. Wow. So the way to get through that is to focus on character. That's something that you can always have a certain amount of control over, is like what kind of person you're becoming. And I would say also, never use one season as a stepping stone to another. Appreciate it for what it is. And that's a mistake because you will skim. You will skim the seasons because you'll think, well, this is my season of preparation. Preparation for what? You have one life. You have one calling. And the greatest way God uses you might be in a season that you think is preparation. So don't label a certain season like, well, this is tending the sheep, and one day I'm going to kill Goliath, and then I'm going to be a king. Like, David wasn't out there going, if I keep the sheep good enough, I'll get to be a king. Right. For him, it was all part of one thing, which was called integrity. And that means being a whole person. And that's what makes you happy. So when that's your focus, then external things can discourage you, but they can't destroy you. They can get to you and you'll be sad and you'll go, I didn't see it going this way, but it won't devastate you. And the times I've become devastated is when I held too tight to my plan. To be open to, maybe my plan B was God's plan A all along. That openness will serve you so well. When we started Elevation, I was going to Nashville and writing music for the church John Bishop and I went to in Shelby, Christ Covenant. And at that church, I was the worship leader. And I taught a Sermon on the Mount Bible study on Wednesday nights. When I was prepared for that Bible study, it wasn't like how I prepare for sermons now, but I loved it just as much in a way. I was proud of that. And I wasn't doing that season of my life in order to get to this. I had a sense that I would do something like this one day, and it was a strong sense that I would pastor a church. I honestly thought that I would be the age that I'm turning next year when I started the church. Wow. I had 40 in my mind. That's what I had wanted to do. And I wanted to do a lot of music, and I wanted to travel and preach, so I would only have to have 3 sermons at any one given time, and I could do them over and over again. And so I had that all worked out. And I thought I could learn from somebody else and not have to make the mistakes myself. So all that factored in. And then as things moved along in the way that they did, I remember being in the airport, flying out of Charlotte to go to Nashville. And I was like, I guess this is my last songwriting trip, because I'm going to start the church now, and I need to give my full focus to the church. And at that time, it's kind of similar to, in a much smaller way, how Abraham thought he was sacrificing Isaac, but there was a whole nation in Isaac. Because, like I said Sunday, but I really didn't get to hit it, that what you think you're sacrificing, God intends to multiply. I did not do that justice this Sunday just for time. But I'm telling you, like, I thought I would be done with worship music. I didn't know, Annie would be listening to "Oh Come to the Altar," and that all that God had put in my heart would flow through me being obedient. I think if I would have kept trying to, like, I'm going to be a songwriter, I wanted this and I wanted that, and had it kind of followed where God had placed me and served the church I was in, and then when I was released into this, that maybe I wouldn't have been sitting here and hearing that from Annie today. But how did I know that God would let me have a part in a song that, again, was just on my phone, called "My Life Be an Altar," for 9 months, and I couldn't figure out how to write it. And then on the day we were throwing it away, I said, what if we just change it to "Oh Come to the Altar"? And then that song would reach you. So that's what I mean about, like, God connects dots, we don't. Yeah. And we just have to be like, this right now I'm going to do. This right now I'm going to do. And that's the hardest thing, because we want to see the whole connection and know we're not wasting time. And I wouldn't put it in a box if I were you. You can set an intention, you can get on a path, that's all important. At the same time, do not fall in love with the first draft of your dream. Because God may have like 3 dreams within one dream. Right. And it may be bigger than you knew to ask for. Because think about that, and I'll shut up. I'll go to another question. But remember Ephesians 3:20, right? Who knows that verse?
Now unto him be abundantly more. Through Christ's power working within you.
You know how people always shout over that verse? Now unto him, wow, who is able to do exceeding abundantly. I don't know why people shout, though, because above all we asked or imagine, that means God's not going to do what you had in mind.
Right.
So you're always going to have to be in this place of trusting that he knows better, which means that he's going to disappoint what you thought because he's going to do something different.
Yeah.
So people really should cry when you quote Ephesians 3:20 because it's exceeding abundantly or immeasurably more, depending on how you translate it, than you ask or imagine. So that means you're going to be asking God for one thing, and he's going to be like, door number 2. Or no, 3 years from now. Or no, I'm going to use you to do it, but you're not going to lead it. You're going to be someone behind it. How Solomon got to build the temple, not David. And some things that you want God to do through you, he'll use you to encourage somebody else, and he'll do it through them. And can you be cool with that? And can you find joy in it? It's not easy, but that's the only way to go. Or you'll just be mean, bitter, and frustrated by the time you're an old 39-year-old pastor like me, coming up in here telling me, I thought the Lord was going to blah, blah, blah. You'll be disappointed in people because you will think certain people are supposed to be there for you in your whole life, and they'll let you down, or they'll be done with you, or even betray you. And you'll have to be okay with that too. Then you'll have to do the whole Jesus chose Judas too trick, Like somebody had to get him to the cross, right? So even people that hurt us, God uses in our life to crucify our flesh. I'm preaching better than y'all are shouting. So please take that to heart for whatever it's worth, Lindsay. It's just that you will always be discouraged about your dream as long as you're married to your dream rather than trying to follow Christ step by step in each moment. Hey, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single video or live stream, and share this video with a friend. And don't forget, you can join me live every Sunday. Thanks again for watching.